Hello, my friends. Hello, my friends. Good evening to you, folks. What's going on? Thought I'd drop in live here with you, for a little bit of chat, a little bit of conversation. The B2B Mentors podcast. Welcome in. I do this podcast 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. Every Monday, per the usual, we have a guest episode that I release. It's on all your favorite podcast apps. And then Tuesday through Friday, I'm bringing the solo show to you, which is Connor's Curiosities, a little bit of commentary, business, sales, B2B marketing, the stuff I love to talk about, stuff I love to nerd out about. And I'm grateful for you guys who check my information out, even though I know sometimes you don't engage, you don't like it, you don't comment on it, but I know you're watching because I get your messages and I get your DMs. And I see the downloads on the podcast apps. And so I appreciate you guys much. I'm here for you. If I can mentor you in any way, help you in any way, feel free to send me a DM. I respond to all my DMs, and I'm here to help you because I've had other people who have helped me through my life. I've had other people who I, watched and observed and studied, and I took the action to reach out to them, and eventually they put their hands out and helped to lift me up to where they're at. And if I can do that for anybody else as well, then that gives me more fulfillment than anything. And, so speaking of authenticity and speaking of talking about things and sharing things and mentoring on things that you actually know that you like, that you love. By the way, guys, I want to encourage you, if you see this after the fact, but you want to listen into what I'm talking about, you can check all the recordings. I record all of the audio for these. They go on all of the major podcast apps, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Spreaker, you name it, it is there. And always live on YouTube. When I get a chance, I try to stream this live to Facebook and LinkedIn, but I always stream the video live to YouTube. So if you want to check out other videos, you can go to my YouTube channel, Connor Doobie. It's anywhere. So authenticity. I wanted to talk about practicing what you preach. I had an interesting experience. I jumped into a Clubhouse room. If anybody of you have been on the Clubhouse app, you see these people. You see the fakers, the fake millionaires, the fake subject matter experts who have been on Clubhouse for a week and maybe they've been in business in a week and they're here giving other people advice. And it's very tempting. It's very easy to do. Something I can say that I'm very proud of over the years. I've been putting content out. I've been putting myself out. My ugly mug has been on camera, on podcasts, on interviews, articles for, several years now. And one thing I'm very proud of is the fact that I always talk about things that I either know or I've experienced or I am a practitioner of. Okay. And so anything that I give you that I would recommend advice or suggestions, I give out in content because these are things that I've actually practiced myself. And if I haven't, and I'm just sharing my opinion on stuff, then I'm sure to make note of that, right? I can't tell you how to have $1 million in your personal checking account because I haven't done it yet, right? I'm on my way to do that, but I haven't accomplished that yet. So I can't be here teaching you on how to be a millionaire because I haven't accomplished that goal yet. And a lot of people talk about stuff like that, and they talk on theory. So I was in a Clubhouse room the other day. This is the importance of practicing what you preach. And the Clubhouse room caught my attention because the subject matter was LinkedIn for podcasters. Jumped into the room. I'm like, okay, cool. This will be interesting to hear, to learn. see what other folks are doing. The moderators, the guys who are answering questions, answering Q&A, all and all that good stuff. And basically people are asking questions off of what you'd expect, podcasting, and also podcasting on LinkedIn. Now, me personally, I've been on LinkedIn since 2014, and I've been podcasting for 4 years. So I have a little bit of experience on this topic. I jumped up on the room because I noticed people kind of had some beginner questions about podcasting, and I asked the moderators, I'm like, hey guys, what is the first 2 or 3 steps that you recommend for people to launch their podcast? 2 moderators in the room, rooms maybe got 40 to 50 people in it at this point. I'm like, what would you recommend? How do you give me some specifics, because I'm sure a lot of people who are in this room who are listening and interested in this topic. And part of the reason they jumped in here is because they want to actually learn how to launch their podcast. Most people have maybe thought about it, but they haven't launched their podcast yet. And I asked them, what are the first few steps? And the guy went on this huge rant roundabout. He sounded very confident in what he was saying and what he was talking about. And then he said something that made me immediately lose my trust in this person who is putting themselves as a thought leader, as a point of authority, as a subject matter expert on this topic. He said, well, I haven't launched my podcast yet. I'm launching my podcast in October. Because I asked him, I'm like, with your podcast too, do you stream it live to LinkedIn or all that good stuff? He's like, I haven't launched my podcast yet. So that immediately hurts trust. And you see this constantly with influencers and subject matter experts. So for those of you, I have a reason for this. For those of you who are interested in doing a podcast, putting content out there, right? Like I put myself out on these live streams right now I'm live on Facebook and YouTube, and dude, this shit's uncomfortable. It's not fun to do this. Or it's fun to do it. I enjoy doing it, but it's uncomfortable, right? And if you're wanting to take that step and take that leap, okay, what I would encourage you to do is speak to things that you know. I can get in front of this camera and talk for 2 hours, 3 hours, because I stick to things that I know. If you ask me to speak on a topic that I'm unfamiliar with, yeah, I could maybe bullshit for a few minutes, but is there any substance to it? You can't discredit, even if in your mind you think you haven't accomplished X, Y, and Z, you're still 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps ahead of other people who may look at you and be interested in getting where you're at. And so you can provide those steps. You don't need to fake it or front or pretend to have respect and to have authority. So I wrote this down, and I'm going to leave you here with this thought. And I wrote this down before I jumped in here. People try too much to put on an act, but prospects buy authenticity. So I'm going to read that again. People try too much to put on an act, but prospects buy authenticity. When I talk about prospects with, prospects for your business, prospective consumers of your content, prospective relationships, prospective partners, heck, prospective dates that, you may find by putting yourself out there on social media. People try too much to put on an act, but prospects buy authenticity. So practice what you preach. Put that out into content. It's going to absolutely change your life. It's the best thing I've ever done, is to put myself out there and then also invite others to do the same with me, building relationships with them. But the thing that's worked for me personally, and for those who are 20, 30, 40 steps ahead of me, is they use true authenticity and really, really stuck to what they know. I know in our business too, right? Like we're in a marketing business, and I know other marketing businesses who will sell $10,000, $15,000 packages to their clients, or whatever it is, $1,000 a month. They themselves do not even use these practices to market their own business. In our business, every single thing that we sell to clients, everything, there's not a single offering that we sell or promote to a client that we ourselves are not practitioners of in our own business. So, and that's really worked well for us. So love to hear your guys' thoughts on that. What do you think? Drop below, share with me if you're listening to this after the fact. I appreciate you much. Make sure you're subscribed for all future episodes. Make sure you're following me. Turn on your notifications if you want to get dinged when I do go live. If you want to come in here, interact. Love to hear from you. I know today I'm just kind of preaching a little bit and wanted to share this with you. So much love to you guys. Make it great, and I'll see you on the other side.